Okay, so we now know why Nia Jax hasn't been seen on television. Apparently she blew out both of her ACLs. Having had a knee injury before, the same knee has a tear in the ACL, MML, a bone bruise, and a bone contusion. Man, that's going to be rough. I will also would probably help Nia significantly because it helped me out a lot when I lost like 10% of my body weight. You know, your knee joints take a tremendous amount of beating, and if you were to lose 15, 20 pounds, it takes a lot of stress off of your knees just from daily life, let alone being a professional wrestler. So current has her out of about 6 months, which means end of the year, which means more than likely, if I was the E and she was healthy near December, I would probably still hold her off and surprise her in the Royal Rumble. That way then you can fully rehab her character, being off TV, and have her come back fresh and maybe as a face again. Another big thing coming out is, well, we didn't see Sasha on Monday, and apparently she's less than thrilled with her current booking. Shock. And apparently she might have tried to have quit. Again, this is all rumor, not a lot's been said specifically. We do know she's been unhappy with the way she's been booked. It did seem like that when they brought in the women's tag division, they were going to do something with it. But the East track record is, it's gotten better with women, like it's marginal with women right now. And they've always been horrible with tags. So if you take the group that they're marginal at when it comes to really pushing, I mean, they can push a story, apparently. If you're not feuding with the champ, they're really not doing anything with you. And how well they book the tags. Coalesce those two, and you get to the booking of the women's tag division. At the same time, currently, well, Nia's injured, so she's out. That leaves Sasha and Bayley, the Iconics, and the Riot Squad. That's your whole tag division. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, are they broken? Are they not broken up yet? I mean, it did seem kind of apparent when they had to do the chamber for them, and they had to throw together a random team. It was pretty much every actual tag team thrown together. So they had a hard time getting 6 teams together to run a chamber. They only had 5 teams, and they threw the other 2 at the last moment. And when they did the qualifiers on Raw, it was pretty much the people who are a tag team versus 2 random people thrown together. There was potential, doing it over all 3 brands. To do something with, NXT's got at least a couple of women to tag on a fairly regular basis. I know when she signed her contract last year, so it was 3 years, so she still has 2 more years of potentially staying at home. They mentioned making her more of a centerpiece. I believe she signed in May, which would have been before Becky Lynch just caught straight fire. And the plan for a long time was always Charlotte, Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania. Becky having caught fire, made a triple threat, very much like when Sasha and Charlotte feuded over the women's belt. Becky Lynch had become very popular, so they threw her in to make a triple threat match. And Sasha's kind of pushed to the wayside, which is the problem when you effectively have a story in the women's division. She did a great job with Ronda Rousey. Would have made sense to have done more with that. But if she's truly unhappy and she wants to quit, she makes too much money for the E. They're not letting her go. They'll let her sit at home until either they figure out something to do with her. I almost do think a move to SmackDown would probably help her out a lot. Or, since they try to mention there's fluidity between the brands, I would almost maybe throw out to her, would you like to do some stuff at NXT UK? Nice thing about that is she could fly out to UK, she could do 2 shows, or 2 nights back to back. They could put her in a couple of the UKs, and if she, you like that style? Yeah, okay, well they shoot, pretty much 2 months worth of stuff over a weekend. Oh, and you can do some house show stuff because most wrestlers seem to enjoy the house shows. You know, figure out where to put you at, position you at better in Raw or SmackDown. But you can go to Jump the Pond and you can probably have some fantastic matches there. I think she'd work really well with almost any member of their roster. I think she could bring out a real depth to Isaiah Brookside or Toni Storm. I think Jeannie's currently injured. Piper Niven. I mean, there's almost every woman on that side of the roster could have a really unique match with Sasha Banks. I think that her style of being both high-flying and technical would work really, really well in front of a UK crowd. So they have enough options where they can do things with her. That being said, she hasn't really been a showpiece since she feuded with Charlotte all that time. And I think a lot of that is, like in the men's division, they've got spots for a couple of guys. It seems in the women's division, they've got a spot for pretty much the champ and whoever's chasing the title. If you're not one of those two, you might get focused on some things, but you don't seem to get utilized very well. The start and stop with her feud with Bayley hurt her a lot. I think she probably saw with Dean Ambrose leaving. She's also friendly with the Revival, who are less than thrilled with, signing an extension and then kind of going nowhere. I'm almost thinking they probably, with a shakeup, it's a good time to reshuffle the deck a little bit. Try to see if you can freshen up some things. And worst comes to worst, I'd almost say don't have her go heel. The Boss is a great tweener. I'd say have her run tweener and have her wreck shop. I'd almost like to say that if you put her on SmackDown, there's not a lot of depth for her to do a lot. I do think that if you had her have a solid feud with, I think she'd feud with Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Naomi. But there's some real money in Sasha Banks Asuka. If they, one, want to do anything with Asuka, and two, they wanted to give them enough time to really, truly develop an amazing program. So if she wants out, they're not going to let her get out. She'll sit at home and she'll collect her downside and get her merch checks. If they think that they're going to let her just hop out and she's going to go to AEW, no. Maybe if they let her do the UK thing, I would almost see if they could do some of the other ones that they're friendly with. And be like, hey, Sasha, we're going to send you over to the UK for a little while, okay? Work some matches in NXT UK and some of the sister programs, some of the ones they're friendly with. Go out there, throw out a bunch of amazing matches, and then we can take that and make a hype tape. Then you come back over to the States, we can refreshen you up as this. You're an internationally traveled wrestler because you can never say, the crowd wasn't respecting me enough, wasn't respected enough in the back, and then you can reinvigorate and bring out the Boss character again and make it incredibly more impactful. Just a thought.